This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome, Superior Bait and Tackle, and another edition of Paradise, Louisiana. I'm Gary Risponi and Mr. Red Thrasher. Don't know what I'd do without you and the help. You have been way more busy than I have, but I've been a little under the weather. You have taken over. Thank you so much.
Hey, happy to do it. Look, it's summertime in South Louisiana, and it's go time for us.
Well, I know 4 functions you've been to in the last week. That's not counting as something. 4 in 1 week. Yeah, but look, when we come back, we have a bunch of things that we have done in the last 3 weeks. We got rodeos coming up. We went to some rodeo. We got some rodeo reports. And just keep reminding y'all that some of the big ones that are coming up at the end of June, the last 2 days in June, and the first day of July, we'll be at the Golden Meadow. Fouchon Rodeo, International Rodeo, Tarpon Rodeo. It's a big deal. It'll be at the pavilion, the new pavilion at Fouchon. So,
and look, we also get to show some footage of Swole-Fest, one of the biggest on the coast. So
that's right. That's where he covered that, and not only that, probably one of the biggest fundraisers that I know coming out of Louisiana.
It's an absolutely incredible tournament.
You're going to talk about that.
You got it.
Stay tuned when we'll be back. Tournament reports, everything else. Got the kids still catching fish. So you're watching Paradise, Louisiana from Superior Bait Tackle.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana.
Okay.
Going back to Swole-Fest, you know, like you was talking about how big it is. Nick and him started these, what, 20-something years ago?
25 years ago.
He's in college. And so, you know, and we have shown it. I've been there. You were the weighmaster, so you were firsthand. So I don't expect you to have all this video, but you, and between you and Nick, you sent us some video to where it was.
I knew where to get it.
I used to cover it, but I just couldn't get there with everything going on. And thank Nick for sharing that, all the prizes, all the trips they give to people that are physically challenged.
Look, the whole tournament is absolutely amazing. You have over 1,000 registrants. The amount of fish that came in, especially offshore, I mean, JJ's boat brought in a 250-something pound sword. We had fish across the board, but what's amazing about that tournament is the charitable aspect of it. They've given over $500,000 to Children's Hospital. They gave $100,000 this year to Hogs for the Cause for the Hogs Home, all revolving around Children's Hospital. The things that Nick and Trisha and the whole team do is staggering. There's no other tournament like it. I've never been to a tournament that is that much fun, that much about the party, and then at the end of the night, everybody's crying because it is the most emotional thing you have ever seen in your life when they start giving track chairs and everything else away.
I think this past year was the only time I wasn't there, and I used to be, that was me. I mean, they got their own camel crews, but I was taking, and sometimes when we were scared, it was so emotional, we were scared. We thought it wouldn't be uplifting, you know. Well, I talked to editors, but it is. It's a great deal.
It is my favorite day.
If you're looking at some of this video and seeing, you said about the swordfish. What was something else you saw as far as catches?
We had a lot of 20-plus pound snapper come in. I think the winner was like 28 pounds.
We had just opening up.
Yeah.
Right?
Now look, we also lucked up and it was flat, calm, and 3 great days of fishing. So lots of grouper, lots of deep drop kind of stuff, lots of barrel, tile. You know, the inshore fishing was okay, nothing really monstrous. The trout was won by Rudy and Graydon Hall, who, you know, had been fishing Venice and came over. But other than that, the inshore was kind of uneventful, but the offshore was on fire. I don't think we've ever weighed that many fish. So great weekend of fishing, great weekend of partying, and did a whole lot of charitable good all at the same time.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick Rauber, founder of Swollfest Fishing Rodeo. 27 years ago, I started this event when I was 17 years old. Since then, we've had a couple of rodeos that haven't happened due to BP oil spill and COVID, which puts us at our 25th annual this year. It's been a huge honor to see all that has come of this rodeo, all the people that it's helped. And when I was 17 years old, starting out as a junior in high school, I never expected it to be anything like it's become. This whole rodeo would not happen without the support of so many people, so many sponsors, so many fishermen, so many people that care, so many people that have given over the years. It's hard for me to put into words how grateful I am, how humble I am to see the heart that has come down to Grand Isle every year, year after year, each June, to make this event what it's become. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everyone that's involved in Swollfest, the fishermen, sponsors, volunteers, Jerry and Brenda, Tricia, Sam, my children, the Grand Isle Marina, the Grand Isle community for hosting us each year, second weekend of June. I want to thank everyone for making this such a huge success. This 25th annual has meant so much to me, and I just want to express my gratitude and thank everyone for everything you've done to make this what it's become. Thank you.
How's it going? My name's George Wood. I'm the Goodwill Ambassador for Swollfest Fishing Rodeo. I first got involved with Swollfest at an MDA banquet where I met Mr. Nick and Mr. Jerry Copeland and Miss Brenda. This year's the 25th annual, and it's gonna hopefully be the biggest one yet. It's such a milestone, such an amazing organization, a weekend to have on the calendar, marked every year, just because of how much fun it is. It truly is good times with good people. Everybody involved just brings it to life, and there's nothing bad about Swollfest. Everything about it just makes anyone that goes want to come back year in and year out.
Hi, I'm Katie Bliss with Hogs for the Cause. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that fundraises for pediatric brain cancer. Our primary source of fundraising is our 2-day barbecue and music festival that takes place in New Orleans, and there's 99 teams that compete with their barbecue competitions, but also they fundraise year-round. So this festival is essentially a culmination and a celebration of their efforts. This past year, we were able to fundraise $3.6 million. We have 2 sources of focuses for our organization. Our primary focus is giving direct grants to families whose children have been diagnosed with brain cancer, and these grants go to families all over the U.S. Our secondary source is building Hogs Houses, which are free places for families to stay when their children are receiving treatment at the local children's hospital. So our recent endeavor is fundraising here in Baton Rouge for the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital's Hogs House. The Hogs House will be located on their campus and be very accessible for families who are staying there. The house will have 12 family suites, so 12 families will be able to stay for free while their children are getting care at the hospital.
This year is our 25th annual of Swole Fest, and we are supporting the Hogs House in Baton Rouge with a lot of our funds that we've raised throughout the years. And it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful house. We've been there several times already, watched the progress, and can't wait to be a part of this huge endeavor.
Yay! Something like that. He hates it. He hates it. We're so awkward.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and it's a bear day tackle. I'll tell you what, I don't know how to do without that. You know, the Grand Isle Rodeo, the Trout Rodeo, they just come back. Buggy said it was tremendous turnout. It was rough. It was rough, and people had a hard time going out, he said, but it was packed. And he said all the people were there, the old timers, it really felt good, thank God. They have been through hell too. They got camps raised and everything else they're doing.
And they can throw a party.
Yeah, Mr. Shakespeare, a good friend of mine, he'll raise a lot of them. That marina down at used to be the Sand Dollar. Mm-hmm. It's raised, the Grand Isle Marina. It's raised. Shakespeare raised them at the Subway. He's one of them places they raise. How do they do it?
But we had some still with all that wind, like some good trout caught. I mean, look, you know, the old name Bootsy Toops was on the board the first day with like 3.8. Then Dustin DiBenedetto kind of showed up with a stringer full, and he ended up taking the overall stringer. What is the Dudley Gaspard award? But you also had Brendan Gyro, I think, had a little over 5 pound trout. So there were still some fish caught, and you know, I think everybody had a good time.
Look at the offshore there and all that wind. Look at the snapper and the mangrove and this.
Look what I got to do. I got to look at Gary's phone to figure out the numbers. But look, we had lots of them. You know, Sam Jackson kind of swept the cobia division. Also won snapper. Greg Hebert did really well. Also on Sam's boat. Apparently Sam was the guy that just was the only one that went out.
My cousin told me before it ever happened. He said, "I will win every tournament that's coming up, or rodeo coming up at Grand Isle. I will win the flounder." Gus Adamant, look at it. What, he swept the flounder?
No, first and second, and then Brenda Boggs was third.
Oh, congratulations, cuz. That's all I'm telling you. I mentioned your name. I hope you're happy. So, you know,
great tournament at Bridgeside. You know, there's another great tournament coming up at Bridgeside at the end of August. You know what that is?
Redfish.
Ride the Bull.
Oh, no, that's another one of your projects, too. You done took that over.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
I know, but you took it over. Back then, you were just...
Look, Grand Isle is hopping, the fish are biting.
You were going out in boats. I started that. I took some of the first video ever, and the first GoPro that came out, we put on that...
On the drone?
What you call that?
A drone?
Yeah. Yeah, we had that. Looked like a bunch of crayons was spilled in the water.
No doubt.
All them boats. So, yeah, that's we're gonna keep you abreast of all that when they're coming up. But I thank you again. And when we come back, we got a fishing report. So, oh no, I don't. When we come back, I got a real quick. I got a Southwest Junior Master tournament report. 2-day tournament down up Concordia, almost to your place. So we'll be right back, and I'm gonna give you them totals.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
As members of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and our rodeo and tournament report, but this is the ones we always like to report on it. This is the Junior Southwest Bassmasters, the annual 2-day Father's Day tournament at Lake Concordia, and I'm gonna call out some of these weights, but I'm just gonna give you some of the people that won. In the 15 to 18 years old, Jackson Rod had a 2-day total of 21.43. Hunter Robinson was 21.19. Luke Clark 19.65, and Big Bass was Hunter Holland at 5.35. 11 to 14, Blake LeRae had 17 pounds. That's the 2-day total. Second was Jack Bonardo. Third place was Anthony Tapia. It was a tie. I ain't never seen that, but Anthony Tapia and Junior Burke with almost 10 pounds. The Big Bass with Blake LeRae with 3.81. The LL division, no, the 17-year-old was was Ryder Owens. Second place was Blaine Canizera. Third was Luke Delaney. And Big Bass was Ryder Owens with a 4.9, almost 5 pounds. Boy, that was a good one. Don't forget to remind you, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. It's hot. It's so hot. 113. It ain't no chill factor. It's the heat index. 113 here in Baton Rouge area. So just think when you get up and around the valleys around Memphis, anywhere you travel, vacation there, it's hot everywhere. It's hot. So just be hydrated. Now, this is my fishing report. I'm gonna start off with freshwater because man, it's coming in. The only problem we're having is all the rivers are low. This is the lowest the Mississippi been as early as in the middle of June, okay, in the 1st of June. It's been falling. It's usually sometime when you got a lot of lakes, snow melt, and a lot of rain up north. We usually get the perfect pool stages around July, after the 4th of July. And I can remember fishing spillway. We'd have a slight fall in April and we catch a lot of fish, a lot of sac-a-lait, a lot of bass in the Chafalai spillway, and the other one. Old River was still high, but Old River right now, some pictures came from Old River, Blaine Salters, Glenn Davis. Look at the size of these. They had to work. They're finding a lot of fish on the piers, around the piers in the deep water. Just because you find them on the scope, he said, don't mean you're doing it, but you don't need a scope. He said if you go and fish these piers, or you go back and fish your old trees, but the water's so hot, he says, they got a little shade around the trees, they're catching fish. He said he's seen some spider rigs out on the water. So Old River is the hottest spot right now. Glenn Davis and Blaine made a trip. They had to work for them, but look at the size of these fish. Thank you for that report. And it was hard to get them to catch them on jigs. He said because there's so much bait fish in that river now the water's down, and it's slow early, so it's a lot of fish. Now, Steve Fontana and his brother John, last week, you know they've been catching False River early in the morning, get out. Well, they made an early morning trip. They went down to Grassy Lake area. You know, I know he fishes Lake Palouse sometime, but he's done found some beautiful sac-a-lait in Grassy Lake, and send me a picture of Steve Fontana and doing it. You know, him and John, that's their first choice. Sometimes they'll get on them sac-a-lait, or they'll get on them bass early under them trees with his spinnerbait. When they got the shed in the water, and they're going to fish around there and catch them down, and then they're going after those sac-a-lait. So thank you again, Steve, for that. Redfish, and we going there. Grand Isle, you know, they got some rough, but you can go in back of Grand Isle, you can fish those reefs. They are catching fish. They are catching fish, speckled trout and everything, and before that trout rodeo, they were catching some beautiful trout. In Fouchon and in Timberlea, they're using pogies, they're using, but most of these fish this past weekend, some of the people went live shrimp, and Buggy said he got a lot of live shrimp. They got crocus. Two of the fishermen are bringing in crocus. My cousin down there, I know he got cockerel with Gus Adamatis. That's what he's catching them big flounder on. They love them cockerel minnows, so he's been catching them, his flounder on them. So I was going to give you that report. See another place, so it was Hopedale. I got a great report coming from Hopedale. Darryl Jans and them make a trip down there to go to Hopedale. They're catching trout. They're catching back in the bays. I see a lot on Facebook and different places where people are catching fish. They don't send it to me, but I see it. I know they catch them. My buddy and them went to Delacroix. Delacroix right now, the bass made a turn on. Water's low, they catch it right. I'm telling them about Gene Hoover said he must have caught 50 bass and keep them. You know, he's keeping a few nice ones, but he had so much fun. It's been a long time. He promised to take me too. He said, whenever I want to go, we're gonna go check out our duck lease and see how it's coming, and I'm gonna try to make a trip to Delacroix. I don't want to miss nothing right now. Slidell still. Hot as a firecracker. I got 4th of July coming to go shoot some firecrackers, but I'm telling you right now, they're telling me at Island Marina, they got live shrimp, everybody's catching fish. Depends on whether you want redfish. They're catching some of the trout in Lake Catherine itself, and beautiful trout. Mike Brantley, Fishing Fool, I was telling you, he's still catching them early and late, both. He didn't send me no picture, but I saw him on Facebook. He's the one that gave me that story. I don't want to leave nothing out. Let me look. Please let me look. I see nothing else. Venice, the water is so low, but in them passes, I see that some of the guys out of Venice Marina and them are still catching fish. They catching trout in the jumps. They're starting to move in. Like I said, the water is low. For this time of year, you see, look at it, in New Orleans, everywhere. Look at the river states, Mississippi is down. Only thing scares me about them rivers being this low, this early. Joe Macalusa used to study them rivers. Joe told me one time, when them storms, we get those storms in July and August, if that river was low and that water was hot and not cooling it off coming down from the north, that cold water, they're coming up that river. They're coming up them rivers. He said they're gonna follow it. It scared me. And if you go back look in history, the rivers were extremely low with some of the worst storms we ever had. So, Joe, I hope you're wrong on that. I think that's it. Just remind y'all the Mississippi spillway is low, but you can find fish. Better watch where you're running too. Right now they got sandbars in the Mississippi River, so if you're down in Venice or somewhere that you normally do in the Buras area, just be careful. So, Ron Lambert and them are catching fish too. I didn't want to miss him. Tofield and them are catching fish. So remember what I told you. Go check that lodge out. Go see what it is. It's just amazing. I'm supposed to make a trip there too pretty soon. I don't know about the plane, but the planes are flying. So that's another. Go out to the islands. Unbelievable. God bless Louisiana. God bless Superior Bait and Tackle for sticking with us. Especially CCA and RAD. Star's still going on. Don't forget them. Stay hydrated. Think about our sponsors. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. Come back and see us next week.
Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.